General Hospital spoilers suggest an explosive 5 days ahead. The daytime drama just released its preview video for the week of March 17-21, and the proverbial poop is about to hit the fan in the Port Charles. From Harrison Chase finding out that Dante Falconry was the father of Brooke Lynn Quartermain Chase's teen baby to Carly Spencer's medical emergency. The GH promo indicates that chaos will erupt in the little town this week. However, it is the final moments of the video that have intrigued fans, which shows a masked intruder breaking into Sonny Corinthos' new home at night and rummaging about. The individual checks their watch and then seemingly comes across some sort of device, but before they head out, they are stopped by Sonny. In fact, the mob boss is toting a gun and is ready to shoot as he asks the unknown intruder if they have forgotten something. As the person is covered from head to toe, it's not known if they are a male or female, but one thing's for sure, they are in a ton of trouble. Sonny will have the intruder right where he wants them, behind the barrel of his gun. As such, there's no way they'll be able to slip away. How they got into his home is a feat in itself, and it's likely the security team was given a heads up by Sonny, or will be at some point. Regardless, the intruder is not going to go anywhere until they explain themselves. After all, the mob boss is still reeling from the explosion at his penthouse that almost cost the life of his son, Michael Corinthos. Michael is alive and recovering from third-degree burns in a facility in Germany. But this doesn't mean that Sonny's need for revenge has wavered in the least. He's been on edge ever since the incident, so there's no way he'll allow a masked culprit that snuck into his home to get away. But who's behind the mask? As Sonny's new house once belonged to Valentin Cassadine, and he knows his way around, could he be the one behind the break-in? But what would he be looking for? Fans know he's in Port Charles, so it's a possibility. Then again, the intruder could be a woman, which may or may not soften Sonny's stance. General Hospital spoilers reveal that whomever it is, Sonny will expose them, and said intruder will have a lot of explaining to do. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, March 19, reveal that Sonny Corinthos will have a grim order for Jason Morgan while Jack Brennan seeks revenge. Nina Reeves will also pressure Willow Corinthos, so let's talk about what's coming up in Port Charles. For starters, Nina will push Willow to reconsider moving in with Drew Quartermain. Meanwhile, Tracy Quartermain will get into another argument with Drew, so that'll give her a chance to offer a warning. Tracy will insist that if Drew matches wits with her, she'll win every time. Now that Carly Spencer is awake and stable, she'll wonder where Brennan's going when he leaves her side at GH. Brennan will insist he's going to make sure this never happens again, so he'll obviously be on a mission to get revenge. Sonny will get updates on Carly's ordeal and no doubt assume Valentin Cassadine was responsible. Brennan will find out about Valentin's visit to Sonny's place and go on the hunt for him soon enough. Anna Devane will also have a terrible realization in Wednesday's GH episode, so she should put it together that Valentin targeted Brennan and wound up poisoning Carly instead. As for Valentin, he'll ambush Laura Collins with something important to say. Valentin will argue that Laura has to know who and what she's up against, so it'll be interesting to hear what else he plans to spill. Laura will do her best to persuade Valentin on Wednesday's show, so will she push him to surrender to the authorities and try to get some protection? Valentin may be a goner if Brennan tracks him down, and if Brennan can't pull it off, Sonny will push Jason to take care of the rest. Wednesday's preview video shows Sonny telling Jason to make sure Brennan finishes the job. Sonny will make a prediction about Valentin paying a fatal price, but will Valentin really lose his life over the mistakes he's made? General Hospital spoilers have everyone asking the same question. Whatever happened to Scotty? Is he ever going to return to this fictional town of Port Charles? That's what everyone wants to know. The last time that fans saw Scott Baldwin, he was punched in the face by Cody Bell and chloroformed by Holly Sutton to prevent him from contacting the WSB. But unfortunately, the character has been deemed missing since August 2024. Producers have said nothing about whether or not Scott would ever return to the canvas. It goes without saying that General Hospital fans certainly do have a lot to say about the matter. Some have even taken to social media to write, "I wish he and Liesl are sorely missed. I get injecting new characters to freshen up the storylines and attract viewers, but characters from their archives is what keeps viewers too. I'd love to see Patrick visit Robin or Scott come back to see Liz. Not taking the time to think of others, but I know there are more." Another fan wrote, "He's a legacy character and one of the OG. They would not just disappear, I hope. But he should get a better ending than Luke's randomly killed by a cable car accident that made no sense to even bring up." General Hospital spoilers. What happened to Scotty? And then there was this comment as well. It was nonsensical, but I think they had to do something. If I had to guess, they tried to get Gary to come back for a stint, and he told them he was done forever. Only way to explain to him never showing up for anything would be to kill him off. On the rare chance he ever changed his mind, it would be easy to undo. Of course, General Hospital fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. A sip of bubbly might have gotten deadly for Carly, and now General Hospital fans are wondering how she will fare in the aftermath. While her fate hangs in the balance, Soaps.com got the inside track from Laura Wright on what it is about Carly that keeps drawing her to these dangerous men. Right now, it's her blossoming romance with Jack Brennan that has put her in peril. Sure, the poison wasn't meant for her, but as Wright points out, just having a glass of champagne with this man is deadly. So, what are you doing, Carly? That's the big question, especially given that Jason long ago advised her not to mess with Jack. That warning, however, likely left her more interested than ever in the suave WSB head than before, says Wright. It's just very interesting that her reaction, in true Carly fashion, is to then dig her heels in and say, "I don't want anyone telling me what to do. I'll figure it out for myself," she explains. Without even taking a beat, she's like, "No, I know for a fact that Jack would never let anything happen to me." Wright believes that Carly's blind trust comes from her history with Sonny, whose life was completely dangerous. He shot her in the head when she was giving birth to Morgan, reminds the actress. She's like, "Back off, everybody. I got this. I can make my own choices. You're telling me to stay away from Brennan, but if I got back together with Sonny, no one would care. It doesn't make sense to her." The allure of Jack's life was almost too seductive to Carly, and she just couldn't stay away, even at the behest of best bud Jason. Wright shares that her character is sophisticated when it comes to business, but her universe is much smaller than what Jack has experienced. As far as being worldly and well-traveled, I don't see that being Carly, she says. She's very local to her life in Florida and then Port Charles. And so, I think the life that Jack has lived and that he continues to live is one that Carly doesn't know, and she finds it very exciting. That sense of glamour put Carly right in the path of a revenge-seeking Valentin, and she's paying the price for getting caught in Jack's mess. Which begs the question, if she survives, will she walk away before it's too late or stand by Jack, no matter the cost to herself? Willow and Chase are both going through a lot. Could it bring them closer? Love comes and goes pretty quickly on General Hospital. Willow and Michael were happily married and thought it would last forever. Chase and Brooklyn were the perfect match. One couple is done, and one might be headed for trouble. What comes next? Chase is a genuinely nice guy. Once upon a time, he and Willow were madly in love. But Chase and Sasha both stepped aside so that Willow and Michael could get together and raise Wiley. He made the sacrifice for the woman he loved. Fans rooted for Michael and Willow. They had another baby, she survived cancer, and all was right with the world. Until she fell for his creepy Uncle Drew, but we all know that relationship will not last. What will she do then? Chase is one of the few people in Port Charles who is still kind to Willow. He doesn't judge her for what she did, he is just being a friend. It would be natural for her to gravitate towards him if and when she and Drew break up. Last man standing. Chase loves Brooklyn and they are very happily married, but a big secret could tear that all apart. They are about to discover that Gio is her son and his friend Dante is the baby daddy. This is a shocker that might change many lives in Port Charles. In the meantime, Chase found out he cannot father a child he and his wife desperately want. Brooklyn and Dante will bond with each other and their son, so Chase will feel left out. Coincidentally, Willow will finally get rid of Drew and will run to Chase because she always needs a man to rescue her. Plus, she already has children, so may not care if he can't have any. There is a definite path for these two to get back together. Will this be the end of BLQ and Chase? Say it isn't so. What is your opinion? Do you think there will be a reconciliation for Chase and Willow? General Hospital spoilers reveal that Jack Brennan may say 5 words to Carly Spencer after her recovery. A huge romantic turning point could be coming up, so let's talk about what's in store for Brennan and Carly. GH fans know Carly previously had reservations about her involvement with Brennan, but she finally realized she was overthinking it. Carly decided to risk her heart and jump into Brennan's bed, but she didn't realize she'd ultimately be risking her life. Carly was poisoned thanks to Valentin Cassidy's champagne bottle tampering, so her connection to Brennan put her in grave danger. Brennan would never forgive himself if something like this happened again, so he may decide his relationship with Carly isn't going to work. After Carly's hospital recovery, Brennan may realize letting her go is the best thing he can do for her. Perhaps Brennan will make a prediction about chaos continuing to surround him and push Carly away for her own good. That brings us to those 5 words that Brennan may say to Carly: "I'm too dangerous for you." Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that Carly will accept Brennan's choice if he tries to break things off. Carly is a tough cookie and may refuse to cower in fear despite the scary situation she endured. It's possible Carly will fight for Brennan and their future together, even if he tries to end their relationship. This could eventually serve as a way to bring Brennan and Carly closer, so that's one option to keep in mind. That said, Carly will also have to worry about her children and any threat to their safety. This whole ordeal could shake Carly up a bit and make her fret over Brennan's danger trickling down to her kids. Carly doesn't realize Jocelyn Jax has already been facing dangerous circumstances thanks to Brennan, who got Joss entangled in all the fatal Cyrus Renault drama and recruited her for the WSB. General Hospital spoilers say Carly will get updates on some alarming news down the road, so stay tuned for the curveballs headed her way. General Hospital spoilers and updates for Tuesday, March 18 tease trust broken, heartbroken, urgent help requests, and brutal reality checks. Brooklyn Chase fears trust is broken and her heart is broken. Brad Cooper has an urgent help requests, and Jocelyn Jax a brutal reality check. When Brooklyn revealed to Harrison Chase that Dante Falconry is the father of her child, Chase seemed unable to cope with the news. Brooklyn clearly feels she has shattered his trust as he exclaims, "This changes everything." Her expression shows that her heart is heavy with regret. This revelation puts Chase in a difficult situation, especially since Dante is his colleague at the PCPD. Will they be able to resolve their issues? Brooklyn fears it might be the end of their relationship. Meanwhile, Chase finds himself grappling with a tough choice. Lulu's awkward question. At the same time, Dante finds himself with Lulu Spencer, and it seems like one of those moments where she simply needs to inquire. Lulu is curious to know if her feelings make her a selfish jerk. With Charlotte Cassadine back home, she should be feeling fulfilled, as her family is whole, well, almost whole, since Dante is still absent. With Charlotte and Rocco Falconry settled in, all that's left is for Dante to move forward, but she's willing to be patient. Meanwhile, Brad Cooper is frantically on the phone, desperately seeking assistance. It seems that everyone is still in Miami for the conference, unless they've made their way to Port Charles. However, it looks like Brad isn't back at the hospital. Instead, he's holed up in a motel room. Clearly in a state of panic, he's reaching out for help, but the person on the other end isn't rushing to his aid. Is he trying to contact Lucas Jones for support? Even though Lucas is, well, otherwise engaged, it seems his phone might be off, or perhaps he's just sleeping too soundly to notice. Following a night of heavy drinking at the bar, Lucas finds himself waking up in an unfamiliar hotel room. As he tries to gather his thoughts, Marco, whose last name might be Ramirez or Rogers, portrayed by Adrian Ancondo, approaches him with a teasing, "How are you feeling, sleepyhead?" Lucas is horrified to discover that he spent the night with a stranger he met while out drinking. It will later be revealed that Marco is the son of Natalia Ramirez and Jen Sidwell, and he works as an attorney at Sidwell's firm. Jack Brennan and Anna Devane are anxiously waiting at GH, and Brad isn't the only one in need of urgent help. Carly Spencer is in a critical situation, waiting for an antidote to counteract the polonium poisoning she suffered from the champagne at Jack's Metro Court suite. Anna tells Brennan that she hopes the antidote arrives soon, as Carly is gravely ill. It's noteworthy that an antidote has been developed since the time when Jerry Jacks and Luke Spencer experienced polonium poisoning. This is something Anna likely remembers vividly. Meanwhile, Carly's family member who won't be informed about her mother's crisis is Jocelyn, currently undergoing training with the WSB. Her handler, Vaughn Bryce Durfee, emphasizes that her true activities must remain a secret. Will Jack decide to make an exception and summon her back to Port Charles, or will he keep her in training, potentially sending her after Valentin, who he suspects intended to poison him? This is a dire situation, and as Willow Corinthos pointed out, Carly's family deserves to be informed, but Brennan has said otherwise. Meanwhile, at the Quartermain mansion, Sasha Corbin has a candid conversation with Jason Morgan. Initially, she invited him to discuss the baby, but now she reveals that Michael Corinthos is the one in danger. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.